Hello everyone. Today, join me as we delve into the most astonishing and unexpected items discovered within various animals. Let's explore. Failed project. Did you know that the world ocean is full of man-made reefs? For example, in New York City, several old subway cars were lowered to the bottom of the bay. Algae grew on the subway cars, and they became new homes for hundreds of sea creatures in just a couple of years. And as for an artificial reef in Florida, it was a failed project. In the early 1970s, they created a reef pier out of old tires. Old tires were tied together with ropes and laid out in strips at the bottom. They hoped coral would grow on them, but it didn't. The rope broke, the rubber began to peel away, and the tires were carried away by the current across the bottom of the bay and thrown back onto the shore. The tongs inside the snake. It would seem that life as a pet should be a real paradise for a python. After all, you don't have to search for food every day. It magically appears near home. However, a curious incident happened to the heroes of this story, Alan Rose and his pet python named Winston from Australia. Alan loved to barbecue, and while he was grilling meat, he often put a portion for his snake on the grill. One such day, a python showed up to watch the cooking process and suddenly became interested in the tongs, but within a couple of hours, the tongs had mysteriously disappeared. Alan quickly figured out where to look for them, so he and Winston rushed to the vet clinic where the python had to undergo surgery to remove the tool. Turtles in the crocodile. Even in captivity, crocodiles consume an enormous amount of food per day, let alone in the wild, where they constantly have to fight for a place in the sun. Crocodiles' diet can vary dramatically depending on the season, but in times of hunger, they stop being fussy and eat whatever they can get. Not surprisingly, they also hunt turtles. In most cases, crocodiles do not even bite the shell, but simply swallow the poor creature whole, which sometimes leads to curious cases. So in the stomach of one of these river predators, there were found as many as 3 turtles, and they were still alive. At the beginning of this video, no one suspected that the predator had some passengers on board. This video is supposed to show how the locals cook crocodiles and eat their meat. Crocodiles are cut up before they're cooked. After that, their stomachs are thoroughly cleaned out. It was at this point that the hunters found the turtles, which looked perfectly healthy. I wonder if turtle soup was added to the menu, or if the lucky reptiles were released back into the wild. The mysterious disappearance of socks. Dog lovers should be especially wary because the unveiling of the secret may be closer than they think. A family from Portland, Oregon found out about it not the right way. The family pet, a large German dog, became ill, and it wasn't until a trip to the vet clinic that the cause became clear. X-rays showed that there were a huge number of foreign objects in the dog's stomach. Vets had to perform surgery to remove over 40 pairs of socks of different colors and sizes from the dog's stomach. Vets say that there was nothing surprising about the sock eating itself, but the amount of socks was astonishing. The dog's owners say that it often chews and rolls socks on the floor, but they couldn't even imagine that the pet would think of eating them. Well, the family should reconsider their pet's diet. The dog clearly doesn't have enough food. Blanket and python. Yes, not the other way around. You heard it right. A heating blanket has been in the pet's enclosure for a long time. The owner decided to put it inside so the pet wouldn't freeze at night. For a while, a huge Burmese python named Houdini paid no attention to the blanket, but in just a few hours, it swallowed the blanket, along with the cord and the electric plug. For a python with a length of almost 4 meters, it was not difficult to swallow such a dinner. However, the consequences could be disastrous. Karl Baznoska, the owner of the python, immediately took his pet to the vet clinic, where the blanket had to be removed surgically. Puppy swallow kitchen knife. It's hard but not impossible to imagine a python magician or a dog stuffed with socks, but how did a tiny puppy manage to swallow a huge kitchen knife? When the 3-month-old Staffordshire Terrier began whimpering, its owner, Macy Paisley, immediately sounded the alarm and rushed to the vet clinic. She thought the dog had swallowed one of its toys, but after an X-ray, he and the vets were shot. The dog was immediately referred for surgery, which fortunately ended well. Vets are confident that Macy's pet was saved by pure luck. It managed to swallow the knife with the handle forward, which saved it from serious internal injuries. If you have a dog, check the cutlery in the kitchen. Are all the forks and spoons in place? You can see for yourself what can happen, and once you've checked, keep watching because there are some more interesting stories to come. Soon you'll see the snake that swallowed a giant crocodile, learn about the sperm whale in which they found 100 kilos of garbage, and find out what else your pet might accidentally swallow. Let's move on. Crocodile in a snake. It reminds me of some fairy tale, but it turned out to be possible in reality. In South America, a local resident managed to film a snake swallowing a crocodile whole. Of course, he didn't manage to film the process completely. Even considering the size of the snake, it would have failed to swallow such prey quickly. The reptile had been eating for over 5 hours, but now the snake won't have to worry about where to find food for a long time. The treasure in the turtle. In Thailand, there's a tradition of throwing coins to turtles. It's believed that the person who does this will soon find good luck and wealth. Of course, there's no evidence that this method helped anyone to earn money, but biologists and vets firmly believe that the tradition can seriously harm the animal. The fact is that turtles often swallow coins thrown to them. Coins are not digested and slowly accumulate in the turtle bodies, shortening the life of the animal. Every year, veterinarians perform surgeries to remove coins from the turtles, but this doesn't solve the problem. Explosive octopus. A Chinese fisherman was cutting up a caught octopus and found a bomb inside. The fisherman was very lucky that it did not detonate. The police and bomb squad immediately arrived on the scene. It was impossible to determine the exact origin of the bomb, but presumably that one of the fighter planes had dropped it into the sea. Retrievers and lamb. Many people consider golden retrievers the perfect pets. They're obedient, playful, easy to train, and very loyal to their owners. However, this breed also has its flaws. Golden retrievers are very curious, so if they play around, they may stop listening to their self-preservation instinct. The instinct ignoring was probably the reason why a golden retriever named Colby decided to eat a light bulb for its dinner. Soon after, the dog's health began to deteriorate, and the concerned owners decided to go to the vet. The X-rays immediately revealed the cause of the dog's malaise. The owners were glad that the Colby did not chew the light bulb before swallowing it. Fortunately, all ended well, the light bulb was removed, and Colby learned his lesson. Garbage problem. Many people, especially those who live far from the coast, find it hard to believe how much the abundance of trash affects the ocean. If you need further confirmation of the suffering marine life, here it is. This video was taken in Indonesia, where a sperm whale washed ashore. It happened on the territory of the national park, where the vigilant staff decided to find out the reason of the animal's death. It turned out that garbage was to blame. They extracted 6 kilograms of plastic from the poor animal's stomach. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to prove that the death of the animal was caused by garbage. However, the eco-warriors are already raising the alarm because the countries of Southeast Asia are considered to be the most active polluters of the world ocean. And the problem is not only the negligence of locals, but also the lack of government attention to the topic of waste disposal and recycling. By the way, in December 2019, a similar case occurred in Scotland. There, a young sperm whale washed ashore. Scientists found as much as 100 kilograms of garbage in its stomach. According to journalists, the sperm whale died precisely because of the garbage, which provoked the flatness. Among the items found inside the whale, there were plastic bottles and plastic glasses, as well as fishing nets, gloves, ropes, and fishing lines. Eco-warriors launched a nationwide campaign to remind locals of the dangers of littering the world ocean. It should be noted, though, that residents of certain countries cannot be held responsible, as sperm whales could have swallowed trash anywhere in the world ocean. What was the most unusual thing your pet tried to eat? Share your stories in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you later.